Felig. He is a lawyer with Elliot Felig and Associates. And Elliot, we have been discussing this for quite some time.
Many times.
How significant is this for the Trump administration?
I would call it a partial victory. They got a lot of what they wanted. First, the court is going to let the ban take effect as to some individuals. How many remains to be seen. And of course, the court said we're going to schedule full argument in October. That's the first step. If they want to get these previous injunctions lifted, they have to have the court agree to hear argument. The court's going to hear argument in October. So partial victory. Well,
with all the leeway that this partial victory creates with bona fide relationships,
right.
You can come in on a tourist visa, you can come in on a student visa. Does this actually fulfill the intention of the security prevention that was the idea behind this travel suspension in the first place, to freeze people coming in from those countries while the security vetting procedures are improved?
I mean, that's a great question. The pool of people who are affected by this decision specifically today, it's very unclear. I mean, it's probably a limited number of people who are from those countries, who wanted to seek entry to this country and who would have had a shot at gaining entry and who don't fit the description of having a bona fide relationship to a person or an entity in the U.S. So it's not very clear to me at all that we have to look at the data, and I don't even know if that data is available, as to how many people are really affected by today's decision itself. Bigger decision coming in October or in the fall.
And of course, there is concern that if these people had intentions of implementing a terrorist activity, this would not prevent them from doing it as long as they have an uncle or a distant relative somewhere in the U.S.
Sure, and that, that's the big question is, so who is going to determine who fits the criteria for bona fide relationship? Justice Thomas, in dissenting today, said this just leaves the door open to a mountain of new litigation. But here's the rub. The administration, by definition, administers the order. So it's the administration which controls the levers of bureaucracy and is going to determine who meets these criteria for bona fide relationship.
And what do we expect to happen in terms of the reviewing procedures that are going on while
right.
the suspension is in place?
Right, and that's also a key question. I mean, theoretically, that could make this whole ban and this whole question moot. The court is definitely going to hear argument, but the court could come away and say it's moot because, as a result of this review, new policies have been implemented, and those have to be separately reviewed. One of the initial injunctions was so broad, it said that the administration couldn't even do a review of those countries. That aspect, even the Ninth Circuit said went too far, so that aspect of that lower court decision from Hawaii was lifted.
Now, in terms of the other courts, like the ones in Hawaii, a lot of them focused on the fact that this was not constitutional, that this was a Muslim ban, although it didn't target the vast majority of other Muslim-majority
right.
countries. Where is the idea of Muslim ban now? Has this been dropped?
It's hard to say. You can certainly infer from the three dissenters, Thomas, Alito, and Gorsuch, that they clearly don't feel this is a Muslim ban because they wanted to have this take full effect immediately. And I don't think any judge would have said it's a Muslim ban, but I want it to take full effect. The swing votes, though, are still out there. Roberts and Kennedy did not join with those three dissenters. They gave the administration this partial victory. So we don't know where they're going to go. They could join with the other judges and still say, no, it is in effect a Muslim ban and therefore unconstitutional. We'll have to wait till the fall to find out.
Now, with rumors that Justice Kennedy might retire and this only happening in the fall, how do you see all of this playing out?
Right. I mean, that's another question mark. What is the composition of the court actually going to be? We all kind of accept now with all of these key controversial decisions, Kennedy is always the swing vote. May not be a Justice Kennedy in the fall. We'll have to wait to find out.
Indeed, we will, and we will certainly have you back to discuss it, Elliot Felig.
Look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
You.
And coming up on the show, the new plan announced by the Trump administration to make America and Israel cybersecurity partners. Plus, an influential U.S. lawmaker issues his own ultimatum to try and end the Qatar blockade. You're watching Clear Cut. Keep it here.